Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Group Chat. Today we have one of the deepest dives that we've ever dove deep in the history of deep dives on this podcast. And we love a good deep dive. And here's the funny thing. Deep dive and DD are the, we'll call this a DD.
You know what? You're the new Amanda Gorman, because that's a great alliteration.
Yeah.
The deep dive and who we're talking about.
DD on the DD. I'll tell you.
D-Day.
It's D-Day for DD. You know what I mean? Okay, so we got a real deep dive. We actually brought in an expert.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've been big on guests lately and having people come in and share their opinions and stuff like that. And I would say we're borderline experts or full-on experts in some topics, but we brought on a real expert because it's important that we don't fumble this one or tell it wrong. And there's a lot of niche information that you really need to have dedicated years to really understand.
This person's an obsessed lunatic, not very intelligent, but, a lot of passion.
Passion will get you a long way. If you focus all that passion on one topic, we have learned. Actually, two topics.
Yeah, I mean, you may have remembered this gentleman from previous episodes with his passion in seltzer-infused alcohol and the content level.
There you go.
Yes.
So same guy's back and an even deeper dive.
Yes.
That was child's play. This is what his real, I would say, master's degree is in.
Yeah, my guess is he spent more time on researching this than he did studying for the SATs.
I mean,
100%. I didn't study for the SATs.
Zero.
Trust me, we know.
Zero cut. Okay.
What is my calling? You know what I mean? This is my calling.
God. And then we have a lot of other topics to go over. We got a hot episode.
A lot of tea.
So we get ready. You know what? I want to also say this. We end this episode dancing around a landmine infested field of cancelization.
Yes.
And I like this sort of thing. I think we need to do this more often. We tied in another expert to really help us avoid being canceled, I think, and give us a...
Sorry to interrupt, but this expert, some of you may think, it's Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, turns out.
I feel like we were in a war movie. We were in a war movie, and we're the three actors that survived.
Yes, we survived. Many have fallen.
Yeah.
Today we survived, I think, and we had a guide.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot about the different sexual preferences and those things going on in the world. And there's a huge community of it in LA, and we wanted to talk about it.
And I promise we didn't edit anything D said.
Yeah,
I really wanted to.
We were on the button, like, okay, edit that, take that out. This is pure in its real form, and you will notice it in our awkwardness.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it, guys.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
You ready, Pete? This is your big moment. This is it.
Guys, I'd like to start with, I don't know if it's a moment of silence or if it's a sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Thoughts and prayers. One of our members has had a very serious, suffered a very serious loss over the weekend.
Tragedy.
It's a tragedy. Pete lost his mentor, his idol.
Literally his idol.
His everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking like posters probably came down off the wall.
Yeah.
Screensavers changed.
Accounts were unfollowed.
Passwords changed.
Unscrolled.
Oh my God.
I forgot.
Dobrik 143.
Oh, my shit gets hacked tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I love DD.
We left you off last week with
A cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger, yeah. David Dobrik was in some hot water, and Pete was, going to take it easy, take it slow on whether or not he decided to cancel. But we did know that if Pete decided to cancel, things were really bad.
Yes. And I think just to back up, because anyone my age, nobody knows who David Dobrik is.
Right.
There's zero chance I would know who David Dobrik is if it weren't for Pete.
Who is David Dobrik? What's his deal?
So he started on Vine. He's just he's a creator now, pretty much.
He was part of
he's big on YouTube.
Logan Paul, Amanda Cerny, that generation of Viners turned mega celebs.
Okay, and he's
to YouTube.
And where did he grow up? What city?
Chicago, actually.
Chicago. Okay, and he's 23 years old right now.
Correct.
And when did you started?
Vine was 6-7 years ago.
No,
right. So he started Vine in high school.
Yeah.
So he was Vining in high school. Then he moved out to California instead of going to college.
Didn't we all?
In that same rise where Vine dropped, everybody converted to YouTube, and then he became one of the bigger creators with YouTube.
He probably did it the biggest. I would say
Yes,
Logan,
he was
and then
right
we're
with
probably
Logan.
it was probably him versus Logan, maybe.
Yeah.
And King Batch, is he part of that crew?
Yeah,
King Batch
Kinda,
never
but
like.
not YouTube.
David Dobrik is huge.
Even though
Yes.
King Batch is kind of like, I would say like, like real celeb, like when it came to driving views and revenue, it was the Pauls and Dobrik, I think. And then really the Pauls kind of had their controversy and fell off. Dobrik was this perfect.
He always just looked like a
Happy
smiley kid.
And what was his
Smiling.
content?
That's where we're gonna have to go to Pete.
Yeah. What made you, feel like
Well, it's funny, like short skits, constantly jokes. This is where the vlog squad started kind of developing. They were all part of it. So there was
it's just
inside.
funny.
Yeah, there's funny, very comedic inside jokes happening, small skits, sometimes more acted out, sometimes just like making fun of each other, pulling jokes.
But how funny was it?
Typically G-rated. PG, where you go? Where
oh,
PG-13?
no. We teated on rated R.
Whoa,
I mean,
okay.
he doesn't make any money from YouTube.
He said
'cause-
we. Did you?
Yeah, we.
Him and the-
what did I
the
say?
squad.
Yeah, we.
What do you guys call yourselves?
It's,
Vlog school.
Oh, you're just kind of like vlog
you know what we
squad.
call them now?
I'm so
Felons.
deep, man.
I call them felons.
One of the
We call it now
one of the
accomplices.
guys. But no, it's he gets demonetized. He doesn't make any money off YouTube.
What do you mean? Of course he makes
Wait,
money.
what?
on
No,
YouTube.
What'd you just
no,
say?
no, no. He makes like $4. Everything gets demonetized because they swear in it. They will.
Oh, that feels a little bit like fake news.
No,
You're,
no, no.
you're
He's
saying a
shown it.
music video with curse words can't make money on YouTube?
Well, they get demonetized. You only make so much money.
Okay,
You
so
only
he
get
makes-
certain AdSense. No,
so
he
brand
literally is
deals.
making zero money. He showed his AdSense.
So brand deals.
Yeah, so it's all brand deals and all of his merch.
And he gives away a lot of Teslas.
Yes,
That's
that's
why
all.
Tesla's like, we give away T-shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, so the money's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think it's laugh out loud funny?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I think
So
it's
like
funny.
the way D's laughing at Seinfeld at 10 p.m. at night, you're laughing at Dobrik. Is that a way to say it?
Yeah, I would
David
say it's pretty
Dobrik is the new Seinfeld in your eyes.
No, he's trying to be the new late night TV host.
Oh, so he's like a
But not in his
Kimmel?
vlog.
Yeah, he's trying to be like a Kimmel, but not his vlogs exactly. Vlogs are
Was
much
he like
more.
was he like a reincarnation of Rob or no?
No,
Different lane.
Rob is way classier.
Whoa.
Classier?
Whoa. Look
Didn't
at
you
that.
call him like Shiesty or something?
Hey, I don't want to bring up the past. We got to
Skeevy.
Rob, we put some things past.
Because
That
I
was
always
one
looked
of
at, I
them.
never really watched his content, but I just always looked at it as like, oh, this is like kind of the
Very immature humor, but yeah,
Like a
I think-
jackass?
Not like hurting yourself. It's just like making fun. It's just like what you do with your friends. That's all it was.
Okay.
It's just-
I just don't
We do
understand
that.
what made him so special that he broke
I
out.
think he's very charismatic. I think people just like his
yeah,
like,
he was just like the way
He's
they
always
did.
smiling. I'll give you
But
that.
yeah, but it was
great smile.
He did 4 minutes and 20 seconds. It's every single one is 4 minutes and 20
So that's
seconds.
part
it's
of the
short.
joke.
It's quick.
He's like Elon.
Yeah,
The
but he's
420.
like day to day
I
there.
did
They're doing
69
skits,
vlogs.
and then like the big one, they started going to Vegas and would throw like $100,000 on one, and then all of a sudden they come back, give it all away, and then they buy the
So you're just
Teslas.
following the story.
And so yeah, so you're just kind of following the story. He was releasing 3 times a week. At
Okay,
one
so
point.
what went wrong here?
Wow, I mean,
Where did it go south?
where do we even
Well.
start? Let's talk. So Vulture, I don't know who that is. Vulture.com.
It's a big,
Yes.
it's a big website.
Florence O'Connor is the author, so we'll give her credit.
of
But it
course he knows
started
the
in
author name. Listen, Florence had some things to say about David.
Florence had a little breakdown here. They give a little timeline. I think the timeline will really help.
Okay.
So it's June of 2017 is where the ball really started rolling in the
So
wrong
he's 20
direction.
years old at this point.
Yes,
Okay.
He was only 20?
He's 23 now.
23 now.
Three years ago.
There's
2017.
alcohol
So
involved
4
in
years
this.
ago,
Yes,
it might be
that's what I wanted-
19.
that's what I wanted
He
to
might
say
be
to you.
19.
Well,
It's
okay.
And there's
2021.
and we'll get to it at the end. But there's a lot of people coming out with a lot of evidence about some questionable things that took on.
Let's get it.
Okay, June 2017, he releases a now deleted vlog that was he thought he was kissing her. That was the title of it. It's now been deleted. So their friend Seth, he tricks him into believing that he's making out with this other girl, Corinna, in the crew for this bit. Okay,
Seth was on Mentor Mondays, by the way. He's also been around a lot.
Around
this guy.
Seth was a victim. He's not a
Seth was a victim.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's get this straight.
No. Seth was a victim, not a perperpetrator.
So this is the issue. At the last second when he's not.
You're like,
Whoa, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're in question
I'm just
now.
saying, we were Vlog Squad adjacent over
Yeah,
here.
no
man.
kidding.
Who knew? We were close to the predators.
Okay.
But the issue with this was in the video you see it, he doesn't. He's like blindfolded or something. They switch it out and they switch it to Jason Nash, who he shoots all his videos with.
Who's like 47,
Yes,
by
he's
the
an
way.
old dude.
Wait, so 47-year-old male's making out with a 19-year-old
Yes, he's a
male.
comedian.
Yes.
The story is that David found him in this fucking comedy club. He got divorced from some like high-end producer here that produces like CBS and all this other shit.
He was a Viner too.
He then was a Viner, and he's
Look
kind of
too
like
old
this
to be
deadbeat comedian that David pulled out of the comedy club and
But
gave
he's
life to this guy.
45 or something. He's
Yes.
hanging out with 19-year-olds, like
Yes.
vlogging and kissing them all day.
Oh my
It's
god.
funny, but then it gets weird at
No,
times.
it's not
but
funny. It's
funny until
no,
it's
it's
not.
funny until
No,
it's
it's
not.
not
Right.
funny.
No, it's funny. It was funny.
It's
It
like
was.
funny, like when Bill Cosby used to make jokes
yeah.
about giving people
Oh,
pills until it's not funny.
Yeah, right.
exactly.
See, so you get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they switch it out, and he's thinking he's making out with this Corinna girl for this bit, and it's really Jason Nash. And he just starts making out with him. Tongue, everything. And
This
this
guy
is all in the
Seth.
video. Yes. And then they start laughing. He pulls the thing off. Or Corinna like comes in, and he realizes he's not kissing Corinna. He takes the mask off, and it's Jason. And they're like, oh, this is so... Everybody's laughing.
This is cool.
So this
How does
probably
this even
what got
popular?
Pete hooked.
I mean, I thought it was... Yeah, I thought
This
it was
is
funny
so
at first.
cruel. This is so cruel.
Yeah, it's bad. So he does it like one time, he's supposedly he's getting consent for all this, and it was all okay to put in by Seth, who has now said that he feels like victimized and it was sexual assault and all these other things. So that's like in a large question mark. That kind of started the tumble, because then he did it a second time. Same skit, tricked him again. He goes, I bet you can't do it
To
again.
Seth again?
Yes, so he gets him
Well,
again. He
fool
sets
me
up this
once,
whole sequence of a commercial where then again...
But here's
Why
the
are you
point.
doing this again? Why would I've
Okay,
never gone near
so
a
now I'm
blindfold.
getting the sense of what the humor is, because Pete did an okay job of describing it. Now describing the skits. I get what's going on.
It's just slapdick humor.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward to why he's a potential
Because I
felon.
will
we're
say,
getting
for
there,
the
we're
sake
getting
of
there.
everyone involved, apparently some stuff came out that I saw where like Seth kind of agreed to it. He knew.
Yeah, so
like,
there's a
apparently
lot
there
of
was
question
a text
there.
where he
Right.
said like, haha, this is
Right.
going to be funny,
Got it.
whatever.
So he knew that he was kissing a dude, though.
Maybe.
No.
Up in the air.
He didn't know, but he had got him a second time, and then supposedly a text came out in a conversation between the two where
Okay.
he asked him for a third time.
Okay, moving
Doesn't matter. Keep going beyond that. That's just where the ball starts. Then in November of 2018, so about a year later or so, and now another deleted vlog, she should have not played with fire. This is the one that's in the big question. Dobrik is hanging out with a group of friends, including vlog squad member Dom, also known as Dirty Dom, as we talked about last week. In the video, Dom jokes that he has been invited over, or that he's invited over a group of girls to have a fivesome with. The girls are briefly included in the video while Dom aims sexual jokes and commentary at them.
Pause for a second. In the video, they said they're going to have a fivesome.
Oh yeah, it was well described. And this is where he's like,
How are companies okay with this?
These guys are idiots. They put all the
He's
evidence
sitting
in
in,
here.
I think it
in his
blends in.
Wisconsin dorm like, this guy's a god.
And so in the video, you can find it on the internet still out there. People have recorded it, and they go. The girls came over, and none of them wanted to have, wanted the fivesome. Never ended up working out.
Shocker.
Yeah, shocker. And then he goes, with a little bit of master negotiation, that supposedly that he put that in the vlog with a little voiceover. That is them going and getting alcohol for these underage girls, getting them drunk, and then going and having sex with them. And having a three-way then.
And all
that's the
recorded.
situation in question, because the one girl was blacked out, didn't know, passed out during the said threesome, and the guys of the vlog squad were repeatedly opening the door during this event in the video, being like, oh, we need a head count for the vlog.
Yeah.
He goes, 1, 2, 3, I see 3. And they all are like getting the reactions of opening up the door.
Oh my God.
And
So,
then
like,
it ends with Dom all like
Sweaty. And he goes,
And like, how was it, man? He's like, thank you, David.
yes, that was the thing.
So
in
where was
question.
David?
He says,
Wait,
thank
where
you,
was
David, in the
David?
video.
David's in the apartment, right?
Yes, they're out.
So
they're
he's
in a
like
room.
he's
the
the one
ringleader.
recruiting.
Or-
Yes,
orchestrator,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, this
Puzo.
is bad. This is sexual assault.
Yeah,
bad.
Dobrik he reels him in, gets him to come. You can come meet me and all the friends, and then it's a, trick and a little bit of a master negotiation into having sex with Dom.
The girls are like, I'm not down for that. And then they like break and they come back like hours later, like with some, like a voiceover, like with some
Master
master
negotiation.
negotiation and blah, blah, blah. Some of the girls decided they were kind of down. Like it's just, in this context,
And then-
it's like, what?
And then he
Yeah.
ends the video after the credits and his little shout out shit, and he goes, what happened with this threesome we're about to go to jail for in 30 years. He ends the video by saying that.
Oh,
And now
my
it's
God.
a little bit too close to home.
And now,
It's
now
at
it's-
home.
Now it is home.
Drop the zero.
It's in the living room.
So he ends the video by
drop
saying
the
that.
zero. 30 years. He's
Dom
gonna
and his
go to
threesome.
3 years.
Time flies.
We could
dude.
end up going to jail for this.
And so what else has transpired since, because this is kind of the information that was out in the public. And then you came in saying, whoa, this guy has done a lot. What happened with the app? Because that's really interesting.
So this other TikToker, let me get the name right, Karim. I just went and watched this whole series. So he had also come out. Dobrik has now released his Dispo app, which they raised some money for. It's now been valued near $1 billion once they had raised.
No way.
Yeah, now it's completely down the drain.
Yeah.
But they were coming out with this app idea, which is a disposable app, and it's supposed to be sharing with friends. I've actually been using it, stopped using it now.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. But this kid made a application for a TikTok using some design he did, and he called the app Dispo, which is the now David Dobrik app, Dispo. So apparently this kid put together this entire app, designed it all, named it. David replied on one of the videos and said, I love the name. Right when I read it, I yelled out loud, this is the greatest thing ever. We'll be in touch. Apparently they communicated with him. He told them everything. They didn't hire him, stole the name, trademarked it 6 days later, and have now released the now Dispo app with all of his features. So they've pretty much stolen the idea.
The name or the idea?
Both.
Okay.
They have multiple features that this guy's included before they ever started designing, and the name itself.
So now this kid is just putting it on blast that this is what happened.
Yes, and now he's designing his own app.
Got it.
With the same idea.
Okay, what else? What else we got?
Then there's been other accounts coming out now. Girls are all coming out about their experiences with the Vlog Squad crew. Members of the Vlog Squad crew that have been kicked out have now been coming out, like Trisha Paytas is one. So Big Nick, right? So he has actually dwarfism, like a rare whatever of it. And he's always like making fun of him. So now this guy's come out and is just like, it's giant harassment. The Seth guy, they've also done, so listen to this.
Damn. So his own squad.
Yeah, not only is there sexual assault at hand, not only is he stealing app ideas, Seth came out with a video that said accountability for all creators and highlighted how these guys, with tying together videos that they've had in previous vlogs, they were much older, I would say like 4 years ago, but they included taking Seth to the police station because they're worn out for his rest. David thought it'd be funny to take him there. He ended up paying for his tickets. Like he had all these tickets that he had worn out for his rest, whatever. They were trying to put in the spotlight that he was African-American and that this is the cause of it. They also did blackface.
No.
3 members on video. Yes, it's in a vlog. They did blackface.
Like impersonating black people?
Yes, they put Nutella on their face and Seth walks in.
Oh, well, see you later.
Oh my.
Seth walks in and he's like, what are you guys doing? And 3 of them just have.
And this is all within the last 3 years. You know,
and it's all documented
There was an
online.
argument in the 90s where people would be like, hey.
I would even say 10 years ago, people were just clueless in terms of race.
Yeah.
10 years ago, people were clueless in terms of
3
race.
years.
3 years is like,
Good luck.
Ferguson happened already.
Yeah.
Yes. Then they had another bit where they were labeling them their only black friend. They would do handshakes and other things that I would say they're cultural misappropriation. And then they were offering him watermelon. Same thing. Open up a fridge.
This is all in vlogs?
All in vlogs.
Oh, these guys
all
are
video,
idiots.
all posted, all still live.
I mean, I can't believe this was all just out in the open in vlogs.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and so what else?
So now it started coming out with obviously the girl telling her story. And I think it was like Business Insider. Or
This is like
something
Andrew
originally came out.
Cuomo.
Yeah, it's
Things are
bad.
just,
it's just, and so
Yeah,
apparently,
man, yeah.
so the worst part is this is where things are really going to start to play out. He knew about all of this pretty much, obviously, but the way that Dom was acting, apparently back in 2017 or 18, Dom did an apology video where he was told by David to make an apology video about his mistreatment of women, especially like.
Where was David's?
Because David
did put out one. Now hold on, I'm saying this was back then.
No, I'm saying back then. Why didn't David say, yo, it comes to my attention, I've made some vlogs that are hurtful? If you were the ringleader on this stuff.
Because he wasn't in question then. Nobody was questioning him.
No, but that's the problem, right? It's like you kind of threw your...
Right.
Yes, I would say Dirty Dom is probably the most guilty here.
Yes.
But like as the ringleader, step up and say my vlogs have shown some
or
stuff.
delete them.
Right.
Well, I'm sure he tried to do that
Well,
too.
he's tried to do
But the
that.
point
This
is,
weekend, apparently, he deleted all these videos.
80 million views.
They
worth.
said 80 million views out of 4 billion views are just vanished. He lost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which isn't a much. He has like 10 million, 20
he's at
million.
18 million.
18 million. So it isn't like a lot of people.
No.
But
He also very questionably released an apology Let's Talk video with comments turned off on his podcast channel, which is his 3rd channel, which has the least amount of subscribers at almost like a 10th of what his main channel has.
well, that's where you want to talk.
Well, no, he put it on there. It was a 2-minute video,
Yeah, he knows
comments
what
turned
he's
off,
doing.
and it only reaches so many people there.
Yeah.
It's not his main channel where it would reach probably 10x.
So what happens next in your eyes?
Well, so here's the other problem.
Did you
The
make
girl-
any change? Did you unsubscribe? Did you press any buttons this week?
I haven't gone through all that yet. I was doing other shit this weekend.
Okay, I understand.
But are you going to?
Yes, I'm deleting the app. I will be unfollowing. Like I said, I texted you guys yesterday. I was reading through it all, and I was like, he's got to go.
I want to watch you delete the app right now.
We should do a vlog of that.
Yeah. I want
I'll
to see
screen record it for the kids at home.
Thank
Let's
you.
wait for it to start. Okay.
I just want to see that you're committed to it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's hard.
He's
Move that.
nervous. His
I
hands
know.
shaking.
I
His
know.
hands are shaking.
I know. Are you sure? Are you sure? It asks,
Yes.
Are you sure 7
Are you
times?
sure? This is David Dobrik.
Yeah.
This is the
no,
David
this
Dobrik.
is David. You must be wrong.
Are you sure? Are you sure? David's watching.
It's also
We'll also go here. We'll go unfollow here.
There you go. Okay.
Wow.
it's also to show how short fame can be in 2021 and on. That celebrities, David Dobrik, legitimate celebrity, have been hearing nothing about him, nothing but about David Dobrik from Pete's mouth for a year. No idea who he was. And within 6 months, this dude's over. And everyone's half-life is just shrinking. So like,
But just for
I don't think it's over.
number one, it might not be over, but for accuracy, like he has been popping for probably the last 4 years really hard.
okay.
So still short. Your
Yeah.
point still stands.
Yeah.
But just
But the cycle of a celebrity can be 5 years.
yes.
It could be, and if it's 5 years today, it's probably going to be 4 years tomorrow and 3 years, 2 years, and 1 year.
Well, and I think
It'll be a day. It'll be, damn, look at this viral video of cranberry juice guy. Up, he's racist, canceled.
yeah, exactly. and credit to the Logan and what's the other guy? Jake Paul. Like they were canceled, dead in the water. Then they go become world class fighters, and they have a new career because most of these people can't come out of the.
No.
Yeah.
They
But I also
found the
think there's-
one career path which allows them to be reckless as hell.
Yeah. I also think,
Where's the line though? Because there are people that are uncancelable.
He might be.
Portnoy's uncancelable. It seems like the Pauls are.
I
Even
think
if
Dobrik is. I think he's uncancelable if he chooses to be. So I think a lot of times this happens to people and they're like, I'm done. Like I fucked up, I'm so embarrassed, or like I whatever. I think if David Dobrik chooses to keep putting out content, apologize, keep doing whatever, I don't think he goes to zero ever.
No.
yeah, he'll just make money differently.
Yeah,
so
he'll
he'll get
just-
just like cannabis brands to sponsor.
Yeah,
Or
and
in
have
2
his own-
years, they're gonna all the big companies will forget and they'll just go back to him.
We know how it works.
It's-
They care
yeah,
about those numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go
He's
a
going to
couple
drop
years.
off, go radio silent.
So you're saying in 6 months, David Dobrik has the exact same engagement?
No. I think, 2 years.
I think
before
it
he
hurts
gets
for a long
disengaged.
time. I think
Yep.
2 years, if he has to apologize. He has to go through the proper thing. I don't think he can just ignore it or start boxing and not apologize. Right? You have two options. Don't apologize and become a fighter where no one cares what you do.
Yeah.
Or apologize and sort of work your way back. And I think in 2 years, he could probably get back to his P&L could look the same.
So my question is, what's the line where someone who has a direct relationship with their consumers,
Mass murder.
What's the line?
mass murder?
Mass murder. Not even single. It has to be mass.
I mean, Donald Trump did say he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and
True.
no one would care.
And he was right.
He's pretty much proven that he could shoot someone or have someone shoot someone in Capitol Hill. And people would still love
And
him.
he's still popular.
Way worse.
Still loved.
Fifth Avenue is way less
I guess there's
offensive.
no line. Is that the point?
If you're hot enough, there's no line.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anyone who's like come close. I don't think that there's really a line, man. I think that in this new world, there's a market for, like, even if David Dobrik kind of gave some shit apology and kept going. I'm not saying that this is right. I'm not supporting this. I'm not nothing. But I do still think that there is a large group of people that like his content over the moral obligation, or maybe they don't care or whatever, and they care about the content.
But isn't that the irony? At the height of wokeness and cancel culture,
Mm-hmm.
we have another group of people that are uncancelable and can commit murder, sexual assault, and it literally doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
So both are existing at the same time, which is insane to me.
I mean, look at what Donald Trump, we all know, but if you now go back at it and look at it in this context, in the process of running for president, which you have to be so statistically liked by such a large group of people, this guy on camera said, you walk up to him, grab him by the pussy, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not going to catch David Dobrik saying that on camera. Maybe you will, but I doubt it, right? And the guy
Probably out
still
there.
won. Like,
He's
there's
the president of
always...
the United States.
yeah.
And
So David
loved.
Dobrik should be fine.
So Pete's re-downloading the app in 3 weeks.
3 weeks, yeah, 3 weeks. He has to feel like he did his part.
I might download the app just to make sure this guy is just like posting
You're gonna
selfies.
get a notification. Pete just signed up.
Your friend Pete just signed up for the app. You want to follow him?
Join. But we'll also see. I mean, I do think that some people, this like they don't come back from this like personally. You
Yeah.
know, like it depends
That-
on how he
yeah.
takes it. Like his little shiny charisma bullshit and like Mr. Nice Guy might not like
Translate
anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can lose his whole thing. I do think, even though it's kind of dirty and kind of, oh my God, dicks and kissing, like I think that it was still all in this, like he's such a good guy.
Yeah, that's
He
the
gives people
vibe.
Oh my God.
cars.
Yeah, they're all defending him in that idea. I mean, he's the nicest guy I've ever met.
Right? Like his jokes
guy
were
dated.
like silly, immature humor, right?
Right.
But he still was, you looked at him as a really just genuinely good dude.
because he's
right?
giving these Teslas, he's giving money, he's donating, he's doing like all these things. And it's constantly in this view of like,
I feel like you got to listen. I want to be careful here, but you got to look out for those people that are a little too generous.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you give away a car to everyone you meet?
Yeah.
Why?
What's wrong with
Why?
you?
What's going
You
on?
know who used to give away cards? Don King, and he was stealing money from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
The other big thing that's the issue is he's a dreamer. So this could effectively, possibly,
If there's any legal
if there's
ramifications.
any legal ramifications, he could be sent
I
back
do remember
to
that.
Slovakia.
That's where he really came on my radar because he was speaking out and proponent of DACA.
Yeah.
I wonder if those, like, you know how the people in power or places of authority, like legally, a lot of times celebrities get off because you're a celebrity. Oh, am I really going to like arrest, Jude Law or whatever?
Yeah.
I wonder if
Jude
that-
Law. What does he do?
I'm sure he had some like weird drug charge. You're like, whatever happened to that? Well,
It's Jude Law.
Judge was a big Jude Law fan. Does that hold for YouTubers?
Like, are they
Like, do they
above-
give a shit? Do the people, the powers that be, give a shit about David
Eventually,
Dobrik?
yes, because these positions will be held by younger people. So, like,
But right now, today.
a cop right now who's 24
Pulls
pulls
over
up to
David
Dobrik's
Dobrik.
like, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that.
Don't take
40-year-old
Sunset.
cop-
Take Fountain. So you know.
Put it on autopilot, bro. Does that 40-year-old cop give a shit? Though?
No, the 40-year-old doesn't.
So I'm just saying. I don't know if maybe you get the same slap on the wrist treatment.
It'll be
as a
interesting
real
to
celebrity.
see. I mean, it doesn't sound like at the end of the day, he has done anything illegal.
I think the alcohol thing is real tiptoe.
Yeah. Because apparently he wasn't the one that purchased it.
He was or was not.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
It's
so
said
it's
to be
gonna
other
hard
people.
to-
They haven't confirmed it yet, but
And David Dobrik's going to get whoever the modern day Johnny Cochran is. I don't know who that lawyer is these days.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Some 30-year-old YouTube
Let-
whiz.
Let's also
It's a
not forget.
TikTok lawyer. Here are 3 ways to get out of it.
I'll have this done in 10 seconds.
Give me that guy.
The opening thing, the opening case, he does it in 15 seconds. Judge, I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why David Dobrik is walking out this way.
What?
Boom, 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 savage.
Cue the music.
Oh my god. Okay.
The other big thing is too, he just bought a new $9.6 million house, so that thing will need to be funded. So I have a feeling he's going to need to figure this out quickly
Yeah.
because that is an
Where,
expensive house.
where did he buy a house? In LA?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had one previously bought and then bought.
And he's the one with the big bed from what I saw.
Yes, it fits a lot of people.
Yeah.
Lot
Five
of
plus, I
people.
hear.
He doesn't
I would say
seem
at
like
least 5.
a tall dude that needs
Not
that
a big
of
guy.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, bigger than Shaq's bed, I hear. So,
Whoa.
and Shaq's a big guy.
Yeah.
Shaq needs it. David Dobrik doesn't need it.
Okay. Well, there you go, man.
That's a deep dive if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. That's the deepest we've ever gone on a topic.
Half our listeners have
I mean, we
never
have
heard
an
of David
expert.
Dobrik.
Yeah, it's
And they
rare that
probably
you
still
have-
don't give a fuck.
No, I think it's interesting because it does, really interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen this, and it has similar context. So Punky Brewster, Soleil Moon Frye, who at the time when she was a child, at 7 years old till, I don't know, to her teen years, was one of the biggest TV stars in America. She had a camera that she videotaped her entire childhood.
So weird. Someone just brought this up to me 2 days ago.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And her childhood was, Brian Austin Green, Kevin Connolly, Leonardo DiCaprio, all the who are now the biggest stars in the world. and like the kids from Kids,
Yeah.
that whole crew in New York City.
How'd she film it?
She literally had a camcorder.
She was just one of the rare ones at that time that had a camcorder and just took it around with her everywhere.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
So you see Leo at like 12.
At Magic Mountain.
Wow.
Like Charlie Sheen is who she lost her virginity to.
It's called like 90s Kids or something.
Kid 90.
Kid
She
90.
filmed that?
No, but she
She's not David Dobrik.
You want to know what else?
Brought it up.
What else? She kept a diary, and she talks about like her.
Did she have
virginity
fame?
was taken? She said the first time she felt like she lost her virginity was to Charlie Sheen, but some other dude like thrust it upon her, and she like wrote a diary about every little thing. She has obviously videos everywhere, pictures, stories, and she even saved all the voicemails. All these people's answering machine voicemails of like Charlie Sheen calling her, the craziest stars. And at the end of it, what's so crazy about it, and the reason why I'm bringing it up is like these kids from this whole era, these young people, I think like 8 of her friends committed suicide.
No
8.
way.
Mm-hmm. And then
Close
some like
friends.
X amount were drug addicts.
Yeah.
X amount went to rehab.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty nuts. Like she looks at the story. It looks at a photo of all these people and is like, damn, like everyone
It was like
went.
the 80s, right?
No, 90s.
90s?
She-
Okay,
it was-
90s, sorry.
Yeah. It was her.
Because I've
whole-
heard Rob Lowe talk about acting in the 80s as like a late teen.
Mhm.
And he was just like on set, this is where you get the cocaine. This
Yeah.
is where you get your
Mhm.
weed.
Yeah,
It was
she
just
was-
like a known thing. Like no one cared.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about like they were doing like Steven Dorff and David Arquette. They're all in it. They're all in the as adults and as kids, and they were talking about doing heroin and this and that. And
I
it's
have
just
to say, Leo hasn't had a change of pace in life in 35,
And
40
somehow
years.
he's like sustained it.
yeah.
You
Because
know?
we know he's out.
Yeah. But like never like burnt out. I mean, we know Leo's never been to rehab, I don't think.
No.
Still performing at a high level. This guy figured out how to cruise, like cruising altitude.
That's his
for-
steady state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of a kind, that guy.
Yeah. You should watch it because it's really the reason why it was interesting just hearing about what David Dobrik and his crew did, and you hear about what like Punky Brewster was doing at the
Yeah.
same age
Yeah.
was way worse.
Did
Yeah.
Punky Brewster get into anything else after Punky Brewster?
No, so she talked about so she developed like really big breasts as a teenager, and that ruined her career because everyone called her Punky Boobster.
She says this on the show?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And that her acting career was derailed because
And then
of-
I'm sure mentally it probably affected her.
and then she got married and had kids. She had 4 kids and, whatever.
So she's seemingly living a normal life.
she seems completely normal to me now, but definitely her transition into adulthood was like traumatic. Then she went to college in New York, and that's when she met all these the whole kids crew and skaters, and she was in the skate scene in New York in the 90s. But like just it's a fascinating thing of like what like young successful people in LA were doing in the 90s. What like when you listen to David Dobrik's story, it's horrific today's time. But
Yeah, they just didn't have a camera back then.
well,
I guess Punky
she did. Punky
Yeah.
had a camera.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
For
Well,
the record, Jude Law, never done anything wrong.
Oh, you're a big Jude Law guy.
oh, thank you.
Sorry.
You know what? I apologize. I'll take that back.
Mr. Law.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Law and
By the
Order.
law. Yeah. He lives
Maybe
here.
we should get that up.
Yeah. Thank you.
But I expect a statement out of him this week, I think it'll happen.
I think you should.
Okay.
He's going to have to.
All right. Well, keep us updated, man. And listen, if you need to talk or whatever, call Tim.
We're not interested.
We're not interested. Hey, Tim, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to lie, me neither.
Okay, let's rifle through some news, man. This is a David Dobrik episode. Okay, Miami. They already ruined Miami. So
Yes.
Miami, we've been seeing, we've been joking about Miami just going off, acting like there's no COVID, clubs are full, all that stuff. But now it's spring break. So I didn't even think about that. So now you take all that stuff that we were already making fun of, you pour gasoline on it, and you have
You poor 200,000 kids coming to town.
yes, and who have been doing nothing for the last year.
Yeah.
So like, think about it.
Why do you need spring break if you haven't gotten to school?
Well, you still need your spring break. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like you still need sometimes your dessert.
You've been
even if
sitting
you
at
didn't have a
home,
good
you
day.
got to go, you need the time away.
Yeah. And so think about you've been sitting at home for a whole year. You finally like, oh, Florida has no rules. We get to go there. You didn't get your last spring break. Here you go. You're just taking over the streets of South Beach. And now they've already like put in place curfews, lockdown, areas where you can be. I mean, I saw videos of these guys and girls just flooding the streets. Like you can't even drive a car.
Well, what they did was they closed down like the causeways that come from, the mainland to Miami Beach. And they imposed a curfew for 8 p.m. And from the videos I saw, it took about 2 hours to clear everyone out. And literally, so this is South Beach. This isn't all of Miami. So South Beach, which is really like from like, if you've been down there, that Ocean Avenue where it's very touristy. It's very like, that's where you go if you're a tourist, right? Like you go sit outside, you eat, and then all the hotels
It used
are in
to
South
be
Beach.
the hot spot of Miami.
Yes.
It no longer is.
Yeah, and so
You
you
did
have
on the other side of the thing?
What's
Wait, what
that?
used to be the hot spot?
No,
South
South Beach used to be like the hot spot in Miami 10, 15 years ago.
not even 5 years ago,
yeah.
and then Brickell, downtown Miami obviously
it.
has gotten much nicer.
Got it.
So that's become, the like the it restaurants and nightclubs and whatever. But there a lot of hotels are still on South Beach, and then this little pocket where they were shutting down is really where like Ocean Avenue, where all the restaurants are, and we all saw the videos. It was clearly jam packed with people.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how cars were even driving. What's interesting about it is, so Miami Herald did a whole story about this. They went and talked to all the restaurant owners on Washington Boulevard and Ocean Ave, and they were like, we didn't ask for this shit to get shut down. Like, because there were incidents that happened where people, there was, when you have that many people, shit's going to happen. So, there was property destroyed and whatnot. But like all these restaurant owners, like we've been dead in the water for a year and now they shut it down. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
And the challenging part is like, this is the city that was like, come to Miami, we're open for business. No, you're not. You're closed.
No, so I think
You don't want that real business.
So I think what I interpreted as is that this was a safety issue. It had nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
That kids just overran the streets and cops felt like they didn't have a control of the area
Yeah.
because
It's definitely not COVID related.
has nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
Got it.
So this is the authorities in Miami Beach, different mayor than Mayor Suarez, apparently.
Okay.
Brian yelled at me and told me.
Yeah. It's a different Miami.
Different mayor.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Where's Mayor Suarez?
I guess not the 5th through 19th Street.
Oh, got it.
So he's the mayor of Carbone,
That's,
Komodo,
yeah.
Swan.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's like, I chose those.
The other
venues.
side is David Grutman.
So it's clear that this was all done because of safety. It had nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
That people were just overrunning the streets. Traffic was too much. And they just didn't feel like they had a handle on the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you got to tone it down a little, maybe.
Yeah.
As long as you're not shutting the whole thing down. But I mean, what do you expect, man? You've been advertising open for business.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Been, like your clubs have been ripping, and then here we are at spring break. These kids have been sitting at home for a year, and they just got 14 hundo.
Yes, exactly.
Take it to Miami.
And what's going to happen is they've extended this curfew till Tuesday. Spring break officially ends April 12th for all schools across the country.
It's got some time.
Got
That's a long
plenty of
time. So
2.5 weeks.
2.5. What are you're gonna have? It's every week, every day, more kids are gonna be showing
Of
up.
course.
Every day.
And they're going to flood the other parts of Miami.
Yeah.
So then Mayor Suarez has to make a decision.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because like, I don't know a better way to handle this. Like there's no right way to handle this. Like, I guess he did the right thing from a safety perspective, but at the same time, like, these businesses have been struggling. They want the business. A lot of these businesses say like, we have like 4 times a year we can make money.
Mm-hmm.
We have the holidays. We got these couple big events and concerts and like whatever. And now we lost spring break, which spring break is great because it's 3 weeks of madness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say though, I know Miami's all the talk right now, but from an infrastructure standpoint, it's probably one of the worst designed cities.
It's a
Period.
disaster.
Like when we went for the Super Bowl last year,
Oh, yeah.
it took an hour and a half to go 2 miles.
Yeah.
And then
Every
there
year.
was no sidewalk to even walk on. So
Yeah,
even
it's
if you
bad.
wanted to jump out, it was pouring rain. Like
Yeah.
No,
No,
we went for July 4th one year, and you could not even.
every time I've gone to Miami, the traffic, the
I mean, it must be
congestion-
nuts right now. The
Must-
traffic.
Yeah.
It's probably so absurd.
Yeah, especially this week.
Especially if streets are closed and people are partying in streets. It's probably insane.
Yeah. You
But hey,
got
it's
your
Florida. That's
work
what-
cut up for you, Suarez.
Good luck over there, Suarez. Okay.
Guess we had nice sunny weather with the streets popping. LA.
This whole Miami charade will be over in 3 months.
Yeah.
They're all coming back to LA.
Well, I mean, people forget
You're right.
what July and August is in Miami.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
Is this foreshadowing? Are we going to have the same problem? I think people are going to go wild this summer after
probably,
spending an entire year in quarantine.
But
oh yeah, people
Yeah,
will
but
go
LA's
wild,
just
but LA's built
built to
differently.
handle it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the
Miami
infrastructure's
is
here.
Built.
So we already
terrible,
handled
yeah.
12 million people. If another 200,000 people come, it's not affecting the city.
Come on in.
Yeah.
See you on Sunset.
yeah.
Shut it down. Whatever. Okay. Good stuff.
Portnoy moved to Miami.
Yeah, he did.
So you're happy?
No.
So you're thinking about going. You're eyeing some
I
options.
think I might move in with him.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd love that.
Sure, he'd be sign right up for that. Okay. What about Tokyo? What about the Olympics? When are those? Those are this year?
Those are this year. So it
What are
was
we gonna
supposed
do?
to be last August.
Yeah.
And now, it was a big question, should they do them or not? Talking about people from how many countries, I don't even know how many countries participate in the Olympics. Now they've banned all spectators from overseas. So it'll only be locals, which, unfortunately, this is going to set up the Olympics to be like every other sporting event.
Yeah.
It's just going to be down, unfortunately. The thing that bothers me about the Olympics so much is that, like, it's once in 4 years. Most of these Olympians don't even do it for money. They just do it because this is like their dream and this is their passion.
And most 90% of them, if they don't compete in this one, they have zero shot in the
they're
next
too
one.
old.
No.
Yeah.
That's
So-
so crazy. That's
and-
such a bummer, man.
Yeah. So
Imagine if you dedicated your whole life to like the javelin gold medal.
Yeah,
And like COVID fucked it.
yeah.
And now you can't.
Yeah, and then if you're like a family member and your son or daughter has been training for 15 years and finally gets to the Olympics and you can't go,
Yeah.
that just sucks.
Yeah, I feel real bad for things like that, Like those are the things that just disrupt like lives, And like, listen, I know that there's bigger problems happening,
Yeah,
but
of
like,
course.
damn, it's it's a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer.
And I think it also shows because Asia is not going to open in 2021.
Yeah.
They were the most protective of their borders.
and
And
no
the
one got it.
vaccine rollout isn't even really robust in Asia
Yeah.
like it is here. Like in the US, for the most part, if you want it, you can get it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
I mean, Pete got an appointment.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy
So,
couldn't get COVID if he tried.
Yeah, he got an
And
appointment.
they gave him an appointment.
and I read today Dodger Stadium shut down the vaccine center because they didn't have enough people to
Coming?
get the vaccine.
Yeah, oh my God.
They had so much supply. They were like, hey, there's no one here.
Oh my God.
So the U.S. is going to be fine, but Asia just isn't. And countries are going to be protective of their borders because it's
Yeah.
still ravaging their population.
I get it. I've become the biggest athletic greens user.
Yeah, I mean, you just walked in
He
the
walks in every
office
day
just now with a 40.
This is every morning. I have a 40 of athletic greens. Because not only do I get my 1.5 liters, but I get all my nutrients and vitamins, and it's good for my digestion, apparently. I don't know. It's so much that I've even been like an advocate. My mom and dad texted me the other day and said, hey, what's that green stuff you're always drinking? I want some.
You're like
I
Popeye.
got a bunch of DMs too
Yeah.
who watch
My
YouTube
spinach.
and they're like, what is that green stuff Drama's always drinking? I'm
There
like,
you
it's
go.
athletic greens.
It's
actually."
like greens.
A lot of times I have meetings at home and people are like, what are you? Because it's a smart water bottle I put it in, but it looks like I'm drinking like black water on
Yeah.
on the video. And people are like, what the fuck are you
He's
drinking?
just chugging a green martini.
Yeah. So this is it, man. And I'm really happy that we're working with them because we're loaded up here.
We are loaded up and 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. I mean, why wouldn't you want this?
What else do you need? I mean, it's all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. I personally make mine with a little bit of a concoction, a little bit of lemon juice, a little cayenne pepper.
I was hoping there'd be some tequila in there.
Well, that's at night. Adding to the alcohol sales. But you can also drink it straight. I know, D, you like it straight.
I like it straight up just with water. Water and ice.
I think you just want to knock it out. It seems like Drama likes to enjoy the journey.
I chugged
do.
it one shot.
Oh yeah, I'd like to get out of the way.
You
too. I
chug a
don't-
whole packet one shot?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to know something really
I heard
funny?
him on a
Water.
Zoom the other day. It sounded like he had COVID
No,
because
no.
he downed it and he was just coughing.
Oh yeah.
No, you want to know what happened?
Choking on all
you
the
know what
greens.
happened?
I said, here's
I
guy
was so
choking in the
tired that
background.
day. I poured my athletic greens. I didn't want to drink coffee. This is my coffee replacement. So I took an athletic greens into a like that red cup that we have in the office. I put it in. There was water, and then I drank it. I forgot to stir it, and I didn't look. And so I inhaled
You got
all
like water chunk.
No, I
you
just
went right
inhaled
powder.
I just put it and had powder on my face.
Oh my God.
And Auden and I can hear behind it.
Yeah,
I was like, we're like, is this guy dying
the
right now?
vaccine doesn't work.
But I literally, the guy was like, in the meeting, he's like, you could take your time. He's like, what? And then I came back and he's like, what just happened? He's like, I literally just inhaled the entire packet of the
God. Okay, well, don't do that. At least mix it with water.
Stir it.
Yeah.
Stir
Oh
it.
my gosh. Okay, there you go. Make sure you check it out. Where do you go?
athleticgreens.com/group chat. And as always, we're giving you a little D. Some free D.
Yep.
1 year supply of D.
I think this is
little
why he
D
likes reading
droplets.
this ad so much.
What?
This is why he likes reading this ad.
Yeah, he does.
comes to this point every time.
I use 2 drops of D every morning.
Yes.
I said what I said.
Sometimes I just
What are you
take
gonna
the
do?
D
Judge me?
and I just put it right in my mouth. You know what I mean? Just take it straight.
D straight to your mouth.
D straight to your
Okay,
mouth.
bold decision, but you did it.
Yeah.
You get a free year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs today.
There you go.
athleticgreens.com/group chat.
All right, back to the episode. D, I just want to check in. Like we're a year later since last March when this all started. 2020 versus 2019. Alcohol consumption for D. Murphy. Up, down. How we looking?
So I thought about this.
Okay.
I think it's hard to tell. Frequency through the roof.
But binging.
I haven't. I the most I ever drank at home was maybe 4 drinks.
Yeah. You're not taking shots.
No.
You know?
No bottle to the head.
Hey, what a day.
What is it? 6:30 p.m. Shots.
It's a good point because
Right.
there's also nothing to stay up for.
Yeah.
So typically, if you start your evening at like 7:30, you can easily catch yourself at 1:30, 12 drinks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Easy.
Because you're going
It's
to
not
dinner, then to
impossible.
a party, and like next thing you know, it's 1 o'clock. But like you
There's
just
certain points where I'm drinking out of utility.
Yeah.
Like it's like, we got a couple more hours left.
yeah, I gotta
How am I
get
going to handle
I gotta
this?
just keep this shit going.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that because apparently, like, alcohol sales were way up. So maybe you're different. Like maybe I thought like you take out bars, clubs, all these big events, and you eliminate all that binge drinking. There's no way people are keeping up with that.
Yeah.
That seems like fake news. It seems like people were just chugging the alcohol.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, alcohol consumption was such a wide range because I think because it showed so the stats are showing that beer and wine sales were actually down, but alcohol hard liquor consumption was up highest in 18 years.
That's weird.
That's crazy because I
Wouldn't you
just
think
jumped
that-
all in on White Claw.
Yeah. Wouldn't you think the opposite? Wouldn't you think people would be beer, wine, seltzering,
No,
and
I think-
hard liquor? What are you doing?
I think in March and April, you're just like, oh, I'll have a glass of wine before I go to sleep. By May, like, oh my God, this is going to be all year.
Yeah.
Bring me Jack Daniels now.
Maybe your tolerance just went up, and you're like, I need to start
you're like-
pounding Tito's straight.
Yeah, and
Ooh.
if you look at if you just look at the chart of like distilled spirits supplier gross revenue, I mean, it just exploded this year.
Wow.
So it's interesting that with the lack of restaurants, here's the thing. Here's another theory I have. So when you're at a restaurant and you get poured a drink, okay, you're more than likely in a lot of states, and I'm sure in general, you're getting like a measured shot. When you're at home, the hand gets a little heavier.
Yeah, it's true.
All of a
And-
sudden
and-
it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I also think they kind of like water down some of their stuff. There's some shenanigans
Yeah,
going
there's
on.
definitely-
There's a lot of shenanigans because
Yeah.
you can go out and drink like 4 or 5 drinks. You're like, I should be drunk, but I don't feel anything.
Totally.
Because there's
Yeah.
no alcohol in the drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
That's true.
if you look at the categories, so the biggest growth was in So pre-mixed cocktails was actually the biggest category. So Jack Daniels has country cocktails, Blackjack Cola, Lynchburg Lemonade. I don't like the name for that one. Down Home Punch. But that sector grew 35%. It's still a small category. The next was tequila, brandy and cognac, vodka, rum, and then whiskey, and then gin. So, they were all up with the exception of, I'm curious to see what alcohol consumption looks like now that people are back out. Because do you stop drinking at home now? Because now you're drinking.
It's cheaper to drink at home. So maybe the math is when you go out, you're like, I can only afford so many drinks in a given night.
Yeah.
And if you use that same dollar amount, you can get a whole bottle.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 drinks at an LA place is what? With tip tax is like $45.
Yeah. No, at maybe the higher end. At a normal place, it's probably $25, $26.
How much is one cocktail?
$12, $13.
Okay, then
not
you add
not a high end place.
Okay,
I'm saying like at a regular spot.
You add tip, you're over $30.
Probably at 30.
We'll say $32 for 2 drinks.
Yeah. You could get a bottle of nearly anything you want.
And then you realize you can drink it all in one night.
Yeah, you could drink it. And then that's how alcohol consumption goes.
Yeah, I feel like I would say like people are going to be out and about, plus your tolerance is up.
Yeah.
You picked up maybe a new drinking habit altogether. You're having 6 drinks where you would have had a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's through the roof 2021.
I'll tell you, my last week I ate out a lot. I gained 5 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. Because we don't order in that much. We cook predominantly. And I overeat when I go out to eat. Like, because I want to try everything. Like I went to John's new restaurant, Santolino. I had everything. 7 dishes.
Yeah.
And I ate like half of all of them.
That's interesting.
You have leftovers?
No. I mean, it was all gone.
There goes the 5 pounds.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. But I feel like I'm real curious to see the data after this year.
Yeah.
I got a question for you guys. I feel like I should know this, being that I'm, in the fashion biz. But what the hell is Shein?
Like Charlie?
Shein. You can call it Shein. You can call it Shein.
Charlie. I'm used to Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shein is a $15 billion fast fashion retailer that I've never heard of.
So they came out on the scene. They launched in 2008, I think. Maybe even earlier.
I keep picturing chic.
Yeah. Same era, maybe.
Yeah.
And they're based out of China. And I remember 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer, maybe 10 years ago, 7-8 years ago, probably. I saw an ad.
Okay.
And I went and clicked on it. It was a fast fashion women's company. And I went and clicked on it. And I just wanted to see where they were located. So I hit checkout, went to the checkout. And we bought something just to see where it was from. We were curious. The prices were insane. Like the cheapest on the internet. We got the stuff. 3 weeks later.
Okay, not so fast.
And it was from Shein. And I looked at where it was shipped from. It was shipped from China. And I was like, oh, fuck. This is insane. Like, this is the future. The factories now are going to just ship right from their house straight to American consumers. And I remember talking to my production manager at the time, and we were like, oh my God, if they figure out how to do any real marketing, everyone's lights out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because it's, especially in the fast fashion category. And fast forward, this company ends up getting backed by a lot of big venture capitalists and raised a bunch of money. They're doing 10 billion plus this year, maybe even more. And it's predominantly focused on young women's fast fashion.
Okay.
And if you go on their site or app, the prices are cheaper than anyone else you've seen out on the internet.
Is it like Forever 21 type?
Yes. Okay. Fashion Nova, Forever 21, that world, even cheaper.
Okay.
But here's the interesting thing. In a world where we live where Amazon and 2-day, next day, 15-minute delivery.
Yep.
This is like so during Thanksgiving time, I went and I ordered something. 3.5 weeks.
That's going to be the problem.
Yeah. But their customer doesn't care because you physically cannot get anything any cheaper, right? Like, and so ultimately they have an unfair advantage because this company has now like built this supply chain in China where they can just launch thousands of SKUs daily and they're pretty much making on demand.
Yep.
Right? Like, so they can take small risks, have the big variety, and their customer has said, you take 3.5 weeks to ship, all good, because it's $5.95 for like a dress or whatever.
Yeah.
So I heard they were doing over 15 billion last year in revenue. And the interesting thing is they sell everywhere in the world but China. And the reason they don't sell in China because there's 1 million Sheins in China. So they don't even want to compete there because there's no competitive advantage with having factory relationships the way they do in their local market. And I think what they figured out is two things. One, on when you are at that price, shipment of delivery actually doesn't matter. And then you introduce things like quad pay. So you can get a $20 dress for $5 a week. And you just keep buying, you can keep buying new clothes. And the pace that a 17-year-old will shop, if that is the
Available
price
to them,
component, is the volume's way bigger than like a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
So I think they figured that out. And then secondly, what they do is, from what I've heard, is that they'll tease and test products, wait 24 to 48 hours. If it hits a certain velocity, they have their own data machine. Once it hits a certain velocity, they back up the truck and buy 10,000 units, and then they start producing. And it's a testament to operational excellence. From everything I've heard about this business, that the fact that you haven't heard of it, not surprised, because a lot of people haven't heard of it. But I think that's the point. You can get to 15 billion a year just being operationally excellent. You tag on any marketing, this thing's $100 billion company.
Well, and what the crazy thing about fast fashion is, these guys are gonna do whatever, $15 billion. Fashion Nova is in the B's. H&M in America in the B's.
Boohoo.
I don't know if they're in the billions in America, but like in America, there are a dozen people in fast fashion.
So that just shows you they stole of Macy's and Forever 21. Like that revenue that pie didn't increase.
No.
They just are actually stealing it from everyone else.
Maybe off-price retailers.
They're stealing it from TJ Maxx, Ross, Macy's, Nordstrom, Dillard's, Forever 21, Belk.
But there's a lot of other like physical brick and mortar, like fast fashion retailers, like regional people that have 30, 50, 60.
Yeah, that's all gone.
But also walk through like a mall in the like, late 90s, like the Planet Blues and like there used to be so many options.
Yeah.
To buy that like mid-level.
Exactly. And I think they're all gone and you just it's just insane that like they do this much business and then like all of their competitors are also doing them.
Is it also insane that they have this much operational excellence and they know they can't compete in China?
Yeah.
Like that's how much better they are in China?
Yeah, that's wild.
It's insane. There's so many $10 billion e-commerce companies in China. I mean, even to just scale to 10 billion in America in e-com.
Well, they're not 15 billion in America.
No, I'm just saying, like
that's
if you get to
outside of China,
but they're north of $1 billion in America.
I think they're like 4 or 5.
Okay, so considering how old this business is in America, it's not that old. Sub 10 years probably. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, now Anna, I have a question for you. You dabbled in the banking industry.
Yeah.
And not for too long. You bounced out of there and you came to work in apparel.
Came to pick up a drinking habit.
Well, you would have got a cocaine habit in banking.
Well, it sounds
saved your life.
It sounds like you might have had some severe mental health issues because there are these stories come out now, especially from an analyst at
Goldman Sachs.
Goldman Sachs that is claiming insane 95-hour weeks and inhumane treatment. So I'm just curious, number one, did you suffer any abuse that you need to talk to us about? And number two, I think you dodged a bullet.
So I was at the era where this was all accepted.
Yeah.
80 to 100 hour weeks.
Yeah.
Treated like shit. I had majority of my bosses were amazing.
Yeah.
But I definitely had,
Any good racial slurs that we could laugh about?
I mean, it's not even slurs. Just they make it clear you're beneath them.
Yeah.
It's just not like a slur. It's like, what are you doing? Yeah. It's like that kind of.
So they're not witty racial slurs.
No, they're not that smart. Come on.
It's more just belittling.
So yeah, more belittling. But no, that 80 to 100 hour week definitely existed when I was there, and I experienced it.
Quick question, just while we're on that. Is that just part of the game? Like 80 to 100 hour a week some of these jobs I just feel like require 80 to 100 hour
No,
weeks.
it definitely didn't require it. When I look back at it, it was completely nonsensical.
Okay. Good.
It was
Cancel 'em.
basically
It was like
like
a filtering system to just push you to the limit to see if
and it was
camp?
also senior people who had to experience it. So, I mean, perfect example. You submit like a presentation for a company that you're working on at 5 p.m. Okay, the meeting's at 8 a.m. the next day. The managing director doesn't give you comments till 1 a.m. So you're sitting in the office from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. doing nothing.
Got it.
And at 1 a.m. they give you comments.
And that's partly on purpose.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just like
It
I
was
don't
hazing.
give.
It was
like I don't
hazing.
give a
Sounds
shit
like hazing.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like go get us our food, lunch, blah blah blah. And then
you had nice meals. I got a lot of Mr. Chow's.
yeah, no,
Thanks
nice meals.
to Citigroup.
Citigroup definitely sponsored all my friends' eating habits in 2005-7.
Nice.
But that was the culture. They didn't care.
Yep.
And now that we've been on the other side where we've had bankers pitch us, when I think about what they cared about, and when you think about it from the client side, like you're out to lunch.
Yeah.
Like you care about where a period is in an Excel sheet.
No one's even reading that shit.
I mean, just explain the
That's just part of the shit, right? That's just part of the culture.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's completely stupid. There's no reason we should have been there for 80 to 100 hour weeks. Yep. But what I've know is that doesn't exist anymore.
Got it.
That because of like the boom in Silicon Valley and, you go to Google, Facebook, you get to do whatever you want. Like no one's working like that.
But they did a survey of these Goldman Sachs analysts that all complained that they were begging for 80-hour weeks.
I call bullshit on this because everything I've heard from people in finance, because I still know people in banking, they're like, oh, it's not even close to the old days. There's so many rules. You can't come in on Saturday if you're an analyst. You can't come in on Sunday if you're an analyst.
Can't come in on Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you could tell a Gen Zer to come in on a Saturday? Give me a break. What would a Gen Z do?
Maybe Goldman Sachs does.
So what's like this story's getting a lot of traction.
I know it's gotten a lot of traction, and I just think they found a few people. Like you can find a few people that want to give away all their money because they're 22 and feel they're too woke.
Got it. Got it.
I mean, I don't know. I think here's what I would say. I think it's still banking probably still looks aggressively overworked compared to any other industry.
Probably because you're on the service side.
Yeah. So like if you compare banking, consulting,
Like think about all the IPOs that have been going on. If the
no one at Roblox is working more than 30 hours.
Sure, but if the Roblox CEO calls his Goldman banker at 2 a.m, says, "I need to know what the next 5 social media companies are doing," some poor analyst has to show up in the office from 2 to 7 and get a presentation done.
Yeah, and that's my point is that Goldman said they had a record year, right? They literally had a record year. So their people are working, and
I mean they've done every tech IPO.
so there's a bunch of kids that are grinding it out.
Yeah, I think the Goldman tech bankers probably are working 80 to 100 hour weeks, but the Goldman brick and mortar retail banker, if you're working 80, 100 hour weeks, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're still business.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get on the tech team.
Yeah, weird. I mean, look, I'm sure these people had a tough time, but it does seem a little bit like you're just too late to that.
Like Jeffries sent an email to I don't know if they're all their employees or their analysts saying
Jeffries the bank
saying you could, it was trying year, we want to gift something to everyone. So you could pick a Peloton, you could pick a mirror or tonal, or you could pick an Apple Watch with an iPad. They want you to be healthy and do something. So they're like the guilt is like preemptively. We saw the Goldman Sachs article. We're going to give everyone a Peloton.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Last but not least,
Hot topic.
Let's just pass this to Tim.
Yeah, I kind of want to pass it. I mean, I was trying to, in my head right there, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to like put Tim, like sort of shine the spotlight on Tim and potentially embarrass him. But I don't think he'll be embarrassed. Tim has talked about how he's pansexual on this podcast before.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. got it. We've heard of that. I think we've heard about it more in practice than I think we sort of stumbled on knowing what the definition of pansexual meant. Once you explain it, we totally get it. What I didn't realize is there's this whole world of people who are asexual that are now speaking out about what their experience is like and the things that, bother them or sort of the things that they face. Now, I will admit, pansexual to me doesn't feel too like foreign, like someone who's into any
Everything.
sex, got it, can totally wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
Asexual, in my life, has only been used sort of, not by me, so don't cancel me, sort of jokingly about someone who's just not a very like sexual person. People have been like, oh, he's asexual.
Yeah.
They don't actually mean that.
Yeah.
So actually looking at the life of someone who's asexual is interesting to me.
And aromanticism. Not interested in romance.
So you're
I
not
think just pass
interested
it
in-
Tim. He's nodding his head. Explain it to
Tim,
us.
tell us.
Yeah, I've got a number of friends who identify as asexual or aromantic, and there's dating apps specifically for people who are asexual.
So you have
How's
no
that work?
chance of having sex
So yeah,
when you go on a date.
it's people
Zero.
who want
You don't even want to go
who
on a
want
date?
companionship, but
No
don't
romance.
have
Play
no
video games. There's people there.
So you don't
play.
even want
Sexual
like
attraction.
candlelit dinner.
I mean, this is
What is an asexual person looking for, like, in a companion?
just someone who they can be intimate with in a different way. Someone who they can be emotionally intimate with. Someone they can be.
What's the difference between that and like a best friend?
I think there's things you can share with a partner that you can't share with a best friend.
Got
you
it.
know?
Got it. So would these people still maybe like potentially even live together?
Yeah. 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 I have friends who are in relationships who are asexual.
So how do you identify like this? Do you just walk into a room and say, hey, by the way, I am not looking to have sex with anyone tonight. I just want to set that tone now. Like you walk into a
Literally.
party.
Yeah.
Do not
Don't think
pursue-
you're going home with me. I am not having sex with any of you.
But I will still date you potentially.
Yeah, I'm happy to go to dinner, go to a ball game, but sex, that's off the table.
Yeah. Yeah. You just walk in and announce it. Just like you do when you're straight. You walk into a room and you say,
Whoa.
if you're a woman, look out.
Well, if you see a guy,
Some people do that.
Tim just bodied you.
but here's the difference is that is what is on the mind of hetero, just sexual people in general, right?
Yeah.
Any sex interest. You walk into a room and you're young and a bunch of single people in a room together, there's sexual tension.
Especially after quarantine.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was feeling that at Melrose Trading Post.
You felt a lot
Everyone
of
just trying to
sexual.
fuck each other.
there were eyes being,
for
exchanged
sure.
around.
A lot of eye
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of eye fucking.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing that's revealed. You got the mask over.
So,
Yeah, those eyes have gotten really powerful.
So this article is stating that there's a lot of people that are identifying as asexual for a number of reasons. And I saw a statistic that the Washington Post posted said that share of men under the age of 30 who report zero female sex partners is 27% in 2018.
In the United States?
Yes.
You're telling me in the United States,
In this survey.
27% of people under the age of 30 are virgins. Are virgins or just currently have no sexual partners?
They said report zero female sex partners since they turned 18.
Oh.
Which could mean this is gay men, asexual men. This could be-
Gamers.
Yeah, gamers. That's good.
But that's interesting. Like, are people just not interested in sex, or is it just harder to have it? Because here's my, as just an old man perspective.
Okay.
Old man perspective tells me that. I already knows
This is fun.
shit's gonna
This is so fun. I love these topics.
Let's time this. Let's edit it. What's going on?
I love these topics. We should have one of these every week where it's just like something like this. We have to stumble around.
They say that about like when you turn 70 plus,
You
you're
go
just
see
allowed
that.
to say anything.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
already there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's my belief. My belief is that
I believe.
under 25 years old, grew up in a world on social media.
Yep.
They communicated through social media, and that is their form of messaging, all types of communication. And then the real world comes, And if I were to go hang out with, I don't know, a bunch of 24-year-olds or 21-year-olds today that are heavily on social media, how differently do they communicate than, let's say, 10 years ago, a 24-year-old? Because you're potentially able to meet a mate or a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, just by saying, yo, what up on social media, right?
Yeah.
When you do that in real life, it doesn't usually pan out, right? You have to have like some sort of like charm.
You gotta have game.
You gotta have game.
Yeah.
And so that game leads you to potential intimacy, right? And I think it's a communication issue, and because I think there's these weird nerves that are happening. This is just complete guess. I have no fucking facts on this. I just think that the communication of young people has changed.
What you're saying is basically digitally everyone's confident. In the real world, no one's confident.
Yes.
And to get to the level of intimacy, you have to have confidence in a communication, regardless of who you're pursuing. I mean, I see it. There's a TikTok, YouTube house near where I live. And if you go on any of their pages, they have millions and millions of subscribers. And that's like a modern day celebrity, right? Like a modern day actor, actress that's on a hot HBO show. And I see them at the restaurant right next to me, and like they're so insecure and like they have no confidence about them. Like when I was 15 years ago, if I saw someone that was on Entourage and they walk into a restaurant, you'd be like, oh shit. Like that guy's got swag or that girl's got swag. That just doesn't exist with the way these guys have become famous.
I mean, we've seen it. We've had meetings with people a lot of times. So we've had a lot of big social media. We've watched I feel like we've watched the progression of like actors and athletes and stuff like that. And then I would say about, 6 years ago, we started having like meetings with these social media influencers who just grew up that way. And in meetings, it goes from having a meeting with like an athlete or something where you're like, damn, that was cool. And then like you have a meeting with like this person and you're like, that felt so uncomfortable. And
but I think that it does have an impact on like eventually having sexual partners, because like that is like both parties have to be very confident to get to that point.
Yeah, look, I don't know if this is hurtful or not, so I want to tread lightly because I don't know that like it's fair to say that is causing people to be asexual when maybe people are just asexual and this has nothing to do with it. But there are statistics that the same way people are like waiting longer to get driver's licenses, people are waiting longer to have sex. Like people are there's not as much incentive to go out of your house to go have these experiences and these risky run-ins and stuff like that when you can do it online. But maybe that doesn't affect these numbers, but there is something interesting happening there.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I would say with certainty it's not affecting these numbers. Like I don't think that people who identify as asexual are doing it because they think they don't have social skills. I think people probably would have always, if this term was around, there would have always been people identifying as this, who maybe found themselves in really unfortunate situations because they didn't have this, ability to like brand themselves as something that gave them security and helped them communicate with other people.
But how do you brand? Just curious. Like how do people know? Like if I meet you at a restaurant, how do I know you're asexual or pansexual, or how do you even communicate that?
This is, I'm very new to like the queer community, and like Los Angeles is a cool hub of it. And there's a lot more like open and comfortable conversations. I feel like straight people, it's like incredibly taboo the whole time. Like you have no conversations about sex or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then when you get to like that moment, it's like some weird animalistic thing. And it's like kind of disgusting. Whereas like the queer community is really like,
so what conversation?
Let's have a conversation about what you're comfortable with. What's your,
Oh, so you guys do that early?
Yeah.
Like first date,
get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that just like makes sense. I think that's something that straight people honestly could learn from.
Yeah. I mean, there's no chance that's happening with straight people.
Yeah.
Because imagine if you just sat down and you're like, so you into BJ's, fingers in the butt, what's your thing? You're like, We just met.
Yeah.
Appetizers.
Then you're in jail with David Dobrik and fucking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, listen, I think we properly navigated that minefield. But it is definitely interesting. And I really like the idea of once a week us having an uncomfortable conversation around a cancelable topic.
Yeah, I mean, I think for
If
me,
we
it's
can
just,
dance it, if we can have these topics and not get canceled,
Tiptoeing.
well, I genuinely want to know because
I generally want to be canceled.
no,
I'm kind of tired.
yeah, honestly, if I got canceled for 2-3 years, it might be the
Use the break.
Nice, you can sit back, work, deal with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also just curiosity because like I have kids now, so it's like I want to know.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we're gonna come across every possible
Totally.
scenario.
Definitely, we're,
Especially in
we're
LA.
raising our children.
Yeah.
I do agree with Tim too in the sense that like I do think these things have always existed, but now there's like people are more outspoken about it. There's more people like us can actually see it and hear from people, and so it's so interesting to me to like learn the different things.
Isn't it crazy that we're already like the old guys?
Oh,
Like we don't even understand.
I know you
how
guys are so much older than I am, and somehow I got, you know what I mean? I just became old with you.
yeah.
It's fucked up.
You should just identify as asexual.
I
Feel
identify
young.
as old. Okay, that's all we got. We got some shout outs.
Yeah, we have a couple shout outs. The first shout out is to our man Luke Gledhill.
Why is he moving?
Great question.
Why is he moving?
So Luke, if you don't know, Luke is who I started our run club with 3.5 years ago out in West Hollywood. And Luke originally was from England, then moved to Vegas. He's been in the apparel business, randomly met in LA through a mutual friend of ours named Francis out in Vegas. And, you know, he was just talking. And then one day he found out I ran too. And he's like, would you ever do a run club? I'd be like, I'd love to do a run club, but, you know, I don't have the time to actually take it on, but I'll show up. And so we started meeting in the alley of Melrose Place 3.5 years ago, right when Dominic was born. And we met every single Saturday since. Mm-hmm. And Luke has chosen to move on. Him and his wife, Max, are moving on to Hong Kong.
That's just their next adventure.
Yeah, they have a business concept in the food space that they want to pursue in Hong Kong, where they think there's a lot of opportunity.
Respect the bravery.
Yeah, and so they have a relative there, so they'll go on and kind of pursue their kind of entrepreneurial ambition out there. And, you know, I just want to give a shout out to Luke. He was instrumental in creating this insane community we have in LA and all over the country and all over the world, frankly, of just runners and incredible people. So
he's a great guy. He's one of those guys that's always very positive and like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I got an idea. What do you want to blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, he's one of the most positive people you'll ever
sure
come
is.
across.
yeah,
It's a good testament for why you should run, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? All that damn positivity.
Yeah, just
can
flowing
only come
through
from
you
all
'cause
that
of running.
freaking running. Yeah.
And so shout out to Luke. Thank you for everything. Thank you for helping build this community. The Run Club is now global. Now we're gonna have a Hong Kong. So if you're in Hong Kong and you give your phone number to Luke, he's gonna text you every Saturday,
Literally.
for the rest of your
He
life
will,
to
for
come
real.
out.
So approach with caution.
I showed up to his last run club. Granted, I don't go much because it's weekends, and he bullied me into running 5 miles with him.
I thought Anand got lost or something.
Because they went like their own route or something?
No, because I think most people ran 3 or 4 miles, so they probably finished before us.
Yeah.
And then I was turning around at the 3 mile mark.
Got it.
And Luke just was like, no, let's go get 5. And I was like, I typically don't run that far.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, come on, mate. And I was like, all
There you
right,
go.
whatever. You say it so nicely.
It's so true, man. It's true.
I mean, even just to give you another great example, I ran the LA Marathon now 2 years ago with the Run Club squad. And Luke's much faster than me. But he
runs laps while running the race.
He was literally like ahead of me. Then he would come back and like, "You okay, mate?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm
Go
good."
back the
and then
other
go
way.
back up and then come
Really?
back and check on me.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
He
like,
probably did worth like
probably
2
did 32
marathons.
miles,
Yes.
35 miles.
He did an excess of miles because he would run forward and then run back and then run forward again and he's just covering.
Yeah. So
Good for him.
if you're out in LA, to keep the energy going, we're still doing our run club. If you're interested, hit us up. I don't want to publicize it because I'm being respectful of
I
large
think you
crowds.
can.
Can I?
Cases are down.
It was indoor dining.
You're outside.
Yeah,
your
you're
gym's
outside.
open.
All right, we're on Santa Monica Saturday.
Dose to the moon!
No, Hoach to the moon.
Close to the moon.
I got a fucking text this weekend from this guy. He listens to the podcast. He texted me and he goes, "Hey, I got this great investment opportunity for you." I go, "Hit me with it." And he sent me a link to Hoj. I go, "Get the fuck out of here with that Hoj shit."
Oh my god.
He's like, "It's great. You got to get on it." I was like,
All
"All
right,
right."
all right. All right, Luke, best of luck to you in Hong
Yeah.
Kong.
Yes.
Next time we're out there, hopefully we don't.
You're not invited.
Yeah, maybe we won't get
After
arrested
all that we've
outside.
said on this podcast, you're not going to.
Well, maybe we'll see you in Thailand or something.
Meet halfway or somewhere, you know?
Okay, what else?
And then we got a shout out to all the Persian Cathys.
Wow.
It's New Year's.
Oh.
It's called Nowruz, and it always falls on spring equinox. And this year, it's on Saturday. It's from our friend and fellow Kathy Behnaz at, I think she's at DC, if I remember correctly.
Good last sentence there.
And then, oh yeah, she goes, "I love the podcast and wake up looking forward to hear every one of you, from the AOC lover all the way to the Portnoy's fan."
That's good.
That's a big range between these two.
That is true. And look at how civil they are right next to each other.
Yeah.
You know?
That's where America can be.
This is where we live.
We get along great. Jay and I.
We have everything from a barstool bro to a pansexual. Do you identify as a male?
I do.
Okay, I wanna make sure.
Pansexual male AOC
Lover,
fanboy.
fanboy.
Yeah, I also identify as an AOC fanboy.
That's on your bio.
Yeah, that's the most
Him,
prominent.
her, or him, he, him, AOC, fanboy.
That could be your signature.
Somebody commented on the Instagram post about that and gave me instructions as to how I can get close to AOC.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
should start
use
to-
this podcast as leverage, get hooked up with the crooked media guys.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good.
That's fun.
Somebody's thought this through for me.
And then the
really like
next
it.
one is to Soline Kong, who's turning 30 on March 22nd. Her man is sending a big shout out, Paul. They're out in LA, not far from Koreatown. She's my best friend and best mom to our 2 dogs.
Nice.
And we all love her so much and would like to thank her for everything.
Happy birthday, Celine.
Yeah, big 30. So it must be lucky for you. Things are open.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Go get a cocktail.
Yeah, and outdoor dining.
Indoor dining.
No, you can indoor
25%.
dining.
I don't
Indoor
want to
dining
do
all
indoor.
weekend.
Indoor dining sucks.
It was
Yeah, it's really not as
last
good.
night.
I love
It's still a
outdoor
little
dining.
chilly. LA chilly.
At night, indoor dining is
Let me tell you something about
fantastic.
outdoor dining in LA. It's
Heaters.
a tent with a small crack of air that's coming through.
Well, it
It's
depends
my
where you
favorite.
go.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
it depends on where
Yeah,
you
you've
go.
only gone to Hwood.
Yeah.
No, I went to Soho,
Okay, so Hwood.
2 places with
but
freaking
it's not
tents.
like just.
We're talking about-
Pete's
we're
going,
talking about
he's
actual-
on the street. There's no tent. There's nothing.
There's no roof.
He's
I'm
eating
not
off the
getting hit by the
sidewalk.
homeless guy walking past me and then a car on the street that's about to veer
There's
off.
no heat lamps.
No heat lamp. Just put a couple coats on.
Yeah. Yeah, the real stuff. Not your privileged West
privileged
Hollywood
rooftop.
Nice and so
literal
as to
bubble eating.
Probably each table's got a
five-star
heater.
hotel dining.
Eat inside a damn bubble.
Must be nice.
Okay. Then we got Satosh or what?
Yeah, we got one from.
I got one.
yeah, go for
Sorry.
it.
Wow.
We have. Oh, yeah, we have.
Someone sent a shout out to you.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's from our good friend Ben, who's also a part of the Run Club.
Yes.
It's his birthday today.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
he's
happy
turning
birthday.
39. Happy birthday to Ben. He also wants to give a shout out to Luke.
Nice.
So he's very happy that he crossed paths with Luke, and he wishes him well on his journey. He also is the one who did the group chat sign and a
Yes.
number of other signs for us.
Yeah.
He owns VJ Signs. So if you need signs, we got a sign guy.
That's a sign.
And I'm going
that's a
to.
sign.
He recommended me a podcast at the Run Club yesterday, which will be my content recommendation on Thursday's episode. I'm just teasing it. It is incredible.
Wow. What is it about?
Can you tell us now?
Why don't you
No.
just tell us now?
Tell us now and we'll bleep it.
You have something else by then.
Yeah, sure. It's basically about.
Whoa, who killed him? Tell me Thursday. Tell me now.
It's about. It's called Whistleblower Rogue Ref. It's about Tim Donaghy, the NBA ref that got caught in the game fixing, but the level of crime family, the Gambino family involved in having refs in their pocket, the NBA basically fixing games, implying that the NBA is fixing games, making
Wow,
sure that
what is
big
this on?
teams. It's on Spotify. He sent me the link.
Well, who produced it?
It's
ESPN?
legit.
Yeah.
No, it's like you can tell by the way it's done.
Yeah, yeah.
He's shouting out some UTA guys at the end, so
Yeah, yeah.
it's like a real production.
Yeah.
And
Who's
he
doing it? Is
spent
it like
8
30
years?
30 for 30 or who's
No,
producing
it's 10-cent productions or something. But they spent 8 years researching this. And you do not need to like the NBA. You do not need to like the sport, like sports. But it's about gambling and how corrupt professional sports potentially could be. You got to take it with a grain of salt. This is obviously one side of the story. You know, truth is somewhere in the middle, always, right?
Yeah.
Wow, hot.
Okay, good stuff. There we go.
Thanks, Ben.
And then we have a shout out from Elizabeth Homeslice.
Oh, okay.
Said, hey gang, hope you had a great weekend. I'm back with shout out number 30. Can't believe I've actually done 30 of these in a row. If I can hold on to this shout out streak for this long, then I fully expect Pete to be able to hold a stock for more than 30 minutes.
In and out.
That's
Pete's
good.
the kind of guy to trade 90% of his stocks frequently, and the 1% of the time he actually decides to hold, it ends up being Theranos stock or something. Would still choose a Theranos vaccine over an AstraZeneca one. This might be good old Elizabeth Holmes' path to a comeback, just like her hero Steve Jobs. Holmes and Balwani definitely got something up their sleeves, and it ain't a Moderna vaccine shot. Speaking of the vaccine, I've noticed that ever since D got his, he's gone full Florida man. Should I follow suit with D and get the vaccine slightly early before the May 1st date, or wait it out? Interested in hearing your thoughts. Much love and have a great week. P.S. I was kidding about the Theranos vaccine. Go get vaccinated.
Quick thoughts. Anyone who has access to vaccine should get it.
It's
I've been
available.
saying that forever.
Yes.
Yep.
It's
I've been
on
saying that when
readily
I was
available
able
here.
to get it under
Yeah.
like the guidelines of California. One less spreader is a net benefit to society.
Yep. If you can get it, get it.
Anyone can get it. These websites are open.
There was I had all week. I scheduled it for Friday because it's the easiest day with work, but like I could have chosen any day of the week.
I mean, if
starting
they're really
Wednesday,
shutting
Thursday,
down
Friday.
Dodgers because they're
What website you go to?
Give it 1 second.
if they're shutting down the Dodger Stadium thing because not enough people are showing up, then everyone should go get one.
Yeah.
So corona-virus.la.
Okay. There you go.
And there you can schedule. They have all the spots around.
Great.
I think I'm getting mine down at the USC campus. So
Fight on.
I'll
When
say
you
hi
try to get a degree,
Yeah.
find a water polo coach.
If you're gonna
did you guys
cheat,
see that
if you're
on
gonna
Netflix?
cheat in line for the vaccine, go to the school where it
Yeah,
cheats more than anyone.
But then I come in, I got a couple cheating things I want to get out of the way. Did you see the Netflix documentary?
No.
They
I heard it's amazing.
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's
It's
about the
about
whole
the
scandal.
Oh wow.
What do they call it? The blue.
I don't know what the name is, but I'll watch
Yes.
and recommend it for Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, more recommendations for Thursday. Can't wait to hear it all on Thursday.
Yeah. Give it to us Tuesday. Okay, good stuff. Thank you guys. Everyone have a great week. We will see you on Tuesday.